My name's Hannah. I'm based at the Department of Geography at the University of Sheffield, and my research is on emergency food provision and food poverty in the UK. Food banks have been growing in the UK for over 10 years, but in the last 2 we've seen a particular proliferation of projects across the whole of the country. Last year, one of the big national charities, Church Action on Poverty and Oxfam, estimated that 500,000 people access some kind of food aid or food bank provision. In terms of why, there is a real lack of data, and that's really where my research comes in. It's one of the first pieces of kind of systematic research on this issue to be published.
I first came across Hannah's work about 2 years ago when I started getting interested in food banks. I understood that these were a new phenomenon that told us something about poverty, but what I didn't understand was how food banks worked and who they were supplying and why they were supplying. What Hannah's work did was explain all that for me.
I visited 16 emergency food projects. That includes Trussell Trust food banks, independent food banks and other kinds of initiatives like day centres. And I've been all around the country, South Yorkshire, the South West, the Cotswolds, and been to visit lots of different projects. And I've also interviewed strategic staff at both the organisations to really try and get a feel for what drives them as organisations, what's driven their growth in their opinion, what are they seeing coming through the doors every day. Over the last couple of years there's been a particularly powerful combination of issues arising. The recession, the impact of austerity measures in particular, cuts in public funding that are affecting projects and services in local communities, as well as obviously reforms to welfare provision and social security entitlements as well. And all these are having a big effect in local communities, and this is where food banks and other kind of projects are responding really.
Hannah's been coming to Fair Share Yorkshire now for a couple of years to look at the work that we are doing. The charities have been telling us that what they're seeing is more people through the doors because of sanctions and delays to their benefits, and we're supporting those charities now with increasing their food supply so they can help those people.
I'd say the main impact of my research has been with policymakers and national level NGOs and charities. As the growth of food banks in particular, but other charities as well, became more and more prominent in the public discourse and media discourse, policymakers and charities were looking to respond to this, and they really needed to kind of search out the evidence base. What is known? What are the key issues? What are the key questions? What are the key actions and interventions that are needed as a response to this? And particular charities such as Oxfam UK and Church Action on Poverty really wanted to understand more about what was going on at a national scale and what this meant for their anti-poverty agendas as well. Sadly, we don't see any indication that need is abating for these kind of projects.
I think what's hugely valuable about Hannah's research is that it gave a policy context to a social phenomenon. It rapidly became very political, and I think what Hannah was doing was giving a kind of a cool, calm, rational contextualisation and explanation of what was happening and why.